Alright, hey, hi everybody, this is Pika here, and I am so sorry for going away for a couple of days. Like, Saturday, I was, like, tired as fuck, you know, and I didn't have enough time, and I didn't want to, like, be tired out on Saturday, like, after the stream, because I just ended up, like, bleh. And then on Sunday, I had another stream, you know, and it's like, God. But then, and it's like today I was gonna, well, actually I should say yesterday, now it's 2:30 in the morning, like I was gonna record, I swear to you I was going to, but the problem is that like basically what happened is that I got so fucking sick to my stomach, like I had like like it started at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I just got so sick, like, and it just continued on and on, I think for 4 or 5 hours straight. I had to take, I think I had to take 2 nausea pills and one aspirin and 1 nausea pill. Holy well, actually 1.5 nausea pills, like seriously, it just, ugh. It's like I kept walking around just waiting for my ass to throw up at any moment. It's like I just couldn't, ugh. Anyway, but I feel a lot better. So, what I'm gonna be doing is that, basically I'm gonna be, recording Katawa Shoujo today, because technically it is supposed to be there, and then I'll upload Pokemon Black along with it, because I did say I was going to work on that, and then after that we'll be back to the regular schedule. So let's get started. Alright. Take it easy. I gotta turn up music because I can't remember. I can't hear it. Alright, just skipping here. Hey Ren, what's up? Man, I remember this video. Wait, oh yeah, I did read this. Okay, I'm like thinking in my head, what am I doing here? It sucks not knowing what scenes you've picked, have and haven't read. Hey, Ren. Man, there's gotta be some way you can keep files on here. I don't think I said anything about my condition. Oopsie doodle. It's like I'm so bored out of my mind here. Okay. Blah blah blah. Okay, stop. Alright. Can I go back in text history, see where I missed here? Okay, never mind. Sorry. Alright. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump up from her desk and run to Lily. Again, I would not mind seeing shippage between these two, because it's adorable, but I'm not... Yeah, some shoujo eye, not Yuri, just shoujo eye. Not that. And trust me, there is a difference. Alright. They talk quietly for a moment, but it isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. Tonk. She looks about to cry. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing but sit with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too much for her, though, her slender frame reaching... I knew that was gonna happen. Yeah, no, Shimiji's married! Her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. And yes, before people ask me if I watched episode 8, yes I have, it was so fucking awesome. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading at the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. But why would Lily leave her to her own devices? It seems to be quite out of the ordinary, going by Hanako's reaction. Oh, that's right, I think Lily mentioned something about going to town today before Rim bumped into us. The thought of that walk makes me look outside. The bright sun and occasional people wandering around and enjoying the afternoon make me yearn to get out of school, or at least do something other than sit here. God, my glasses seem to be dirty again. Oh, God. I'm gonna try reading this without them for a little bit. Holy fuck. Alright, given into one of my worst vices, procrastination, I decided that history is a subject best studied on a Sunday, or Monday, or on any day other than this. I give a grunt as I lever myself to get out of my seat, briefly debating with myself whether or not to hang out with Kenji. Holy fuck, dude. He doesn't strike me as the enjoying the nice weather outside with others kind of person, really. I guess I'll catch up with him later. Basically, that's me cleaning my glasses. God, there's maybe a good... Man, I actually would not mind if I actually opened up a P.O. box and someone just sent me glasses cleaner. That'd be awesome. Alright. Changing tacks, I briefly entertained the idea of talking with Hanako, but by the time I look at her seat, it's vacant. She must have left for the library. There's gotta be something to do that I can kill the time. I actually wonder if this could be like a split in the path here where you could choose between Hanako and Lily. Guess what I'm doing? Following Hanako to the library seems a bit intrusive. There was a reason she left the classroom after all. And that aside, I do want to catch up with Lily. At the very least, I'd like to thank her for looking out for me despite her other obviously taxing duties. I guess I'll walk around town. With any luck, I should be able to find Lily. The exercise will do me some good as well. Sweet! Alright, walking through the school courtyard to the gate, I give a small nod to a couple of passing classmates, the gesture being returned in kind. There's no way I'd be able to do that. Even from here, the shouts of the sports club members can be heard. From the sheer volume of the din, the track must be packed right now. I remember what Lily said yesterday about being dropped right into the middle of a busy time for the school. While I'm trying to get my bearings and catch up on study that I've missed, everyone else is doing normal school activities. The feeling of being a foreigner still hasn't dissipated, at least not yet. Well, I guess not everything's bad. This is a private school, and that much is easily noticed when walking around outside. Not only are their school grounds huge, but the buildings themselves are immaculate and quite divorced from the dime a dozen concrete blocks of public schools. There's also the fact that there's a much stronger feeling of community here, at least a friendlier atmosphere. At my old school, it was generally accepted that people could keep to their little clique and be done with it. Eventually I reached the gate and began to walk down the road and into town. Is this a Saturday? I don't remember. Well, that was fairly productive. Having seen a fair portion of town, even including the houses perched on the hills around the outskirts, I decided to take a walk around the park before heading back. Living in the city all my life, the total lack of smartly dressed businessmen and fashionably dressed girls strikes me as incredibly unusual. All that's to be seen are the odd elderly people shuffling along the sidewalk and assorted busily chatting pairs of middle-aged women outside of small storefronts. Walking along the road to the park quickly distracts me from them, though, making me realize I perhaps pushed myself further than I should have done to see as much as I could. As my breath begins to wheeze and my chest tightens more and more, I give up on the prospect of soldiering on. My God, dude! I mean, I get that you have a heart condition, but that's a really... I don't know. I don't want to make fun of people with heart conditions. But it's like with Hisao here, it's like, wow, that wasn't much of a walk, was it? For you to start getting just like asthmatic. Okay, again, that was just a joke on Hisao, not on everyone else who has arrhythmia. After a quick glance around the park as I enter, I take a seat on a wobbly old bench that I notice near a couple of vending machines. For minutes on end, I sit with my head bent over, forcing myself to take deep breaths. I feel more like an old man than a teenager who should be in the prime of his life. The stay in the hospital, the surgery, and the medications must be taking their toll on me. Damn it. Eventually, my breathing returns to normal, and the muscles in my chest loosen, not without a fair measure of relief. I guess this means the end of my little sojourn, though, in any case. There's a cafe in the far corners. I'll stop by to quench my thirst before heading back. A little bell above the door signals my arrival to an empty counter. For a few moments I stand there waiting, my eyes every now and then drifting from one end of the counter to the other, searching for a service bell. Eventually a door some ways behind the counter opens, the person emerging from it taking me by complete surprise. Yuko? Hi, I had no idea you worked here. I really have no idea how to address her either, given that she's technically school staff as well as apparently a waitress.
Ah, yes,
She quickly paces up to the counter before flinging her upper half downwards in an overactive bow.
Welcome to Shanghai. May I take your order?
Straight down to business, I see. I don't know. Well, some coffee, please?
Yes, certainly. I'll make it right away and bring it to you when it's done.
Thanks. Yuko's formality takes me aback. She seems to take her job very seriously. Obeying her instructions, I turn around and quickly glance around for a free table. Considering the cafe to be empty, this is a simple task to accomplish. As I walk towards a table adjacent to the window, I notice a flash of yellow around one of the table dividers. Oh, there you are! Sure enough, no more than a glance is needed to ascertain that it's a certain Satao at the table. That said, I don't recognize the suited figure across from the table from her. Blonde, fair-skinned, and a little shorter. She? I think she must be a relative. Man, to be honest, that's actually reminded me of my haircut when I first got it cut last year. And I'm not talking about Lily's. I mean, that actually was my hair before it got longer, unfortunately. Not exactly, but the cut, at least. I don't know. Since the two are all but silent, the suited figure takes a swig from a cup of coffee. I decide to greet Lily. Some part of my coming here was in order to meet her, after all. Hi, Lily.
Hisao?
Yeah, nice to see you again. The suited girl looks up, noting my uniform with a relaxed smile. Know each other? I guess. It's as good as an approximation for our relationship as I can think of. You know, I'm gonna give this suited figure my voice.
Care to take a seat?
She says this to the air beside me, but the message is clear enough and I take a seat beside her.
I suppose some introductions might be in order. Hisao, this is Akira Satao, my older sister. Akira, this is Hisao Nakai, another Yamaku student.
Looks like my guess was correct. The newly introduced Akira gives a nod, which I return. What I don't return, however, is the almost analytical gaze with which she looks at me over. As she does so, Yuko walks up to the table and carefully places the coffee on the table before bowing and taking her leave. That was quick. Gently bringing my hand to the side of the cup, I realize that it's already at just the right temperature to drink. After taking a sip, the flavor turns out to be just as good as the temperature. Yuko seems to be a lot better at this than being a librarian. I took a good long drink before relaxing into the seat. It takes mere seconds for Akira's examination to come to an end. Apparently becoming quickly bored with the activity, she turns to her sister. So, how's school recently? It seems Akira's entirely unconcerned with someone she doesn't know at all, listening to everything they say. Not that I mind. Leaving them to their chatting, I sit back and continue drinking the pleasantly aromatic coffee. I can't pronounce that word, what the hell? Sounds like it's pretty busy for you then.
At least I'm not cooking your meals after school anymore.
As they talk, I slowly realize that I'm entirely unable to gauge Lily's emotions through her eyes, as I would for any other person. It becomes slightly unsettling as I subconsciously focus on that fact. Whoa, so cold! Weren't you just cooking for yourself anyway? I only ever got leftovers.
That's not the point. Are you managing to feed yourself at least?
I can cook without blowing myself up, you know. Mostly. Just... That's... It's fine. I needed to learn sometime anyway.
Lee!
What the fuck was... How the hell did I pronounce Lily like that? Everyone present is momentarily distracted by Yuko, who places a cup of tea on this table for Lily. Taking the moment to glance at her watch, Akira levers herself off her seat and gives me a quick nod. Well, I better be off. It was nice talking to you, Lily.
Akira, do you have to?
Lily looks genuinely mournful at her sister suddenly leaving. It does seem like she might have the wrong idea. Sorry, I need to get back to work. They'll be on my neck again if I don't make it back quickly. So informal. Akira's trim and tidy appearance would give anyone the wrong impression of her.
Bye, Akira.
Come on, don't look so down. I'll be around again soon. See yas.
With that, she waltzes out of the Shanghai with her hand held high. Lily still looks pretty depressed, so I try to make some small talk in an effort to take her mind off it.
Oh, she seems nice.
We used to live together, but now that I live at school, we hardly ever see each other. Despite Lillian having been quite affable, I still don't really know much about her. In hindsight, it's surprising just how much she's extracted from me, really.
You used to live together? Was it somewhere around here?
It was pretty far south. The trip into Yamako was fairly long. With her working hours getting longer and Yamako being so far away, there was little choice in the end but to move into the dormitories.
Well, that explains the chatter about cooking.
Evidently regaining her composure, she livens back up, at least in part. I take it you're better rested now?
Sorry?
You sound less exhausted than you did when you first came in.
To be able to pick out my breathing like that, she must have pretty good ears. Well, I'm pretty sure she would have to rely on her ears more than her eyes, because she can't see. Okay, I'm gonna take a drink here. Alright. Yeah, I ended up walking all over town despite only planning on taking a short walk down here.
Reminded of my thirst from the walk, I leaned forward to take a sip. Without further ado, Lily starts her cup of strong-smelling tea.
I guess I better get going back to Yamaku. There's only so long I can stall studying for, and I want to get a good night's sleep before the festival.
Standing from my seat, I take the coffee-stained cup from the table. You're leaving?
Yeah, you going to head back as well? It's getting kind of late.
For a moment she pauses, before lifting her face over her teacup as if she was looking at me. Yuka, can we have one more coffee, please? Okay, I'm gonna get right away!
That's not subtle.
She gives a short giggle at my frank assessment of her maneuver. It's surprisingly childish and carefree, given her otherwise collected appearance. In the end, though, I have little reason to refuse. To be honest, I can hardly say no, all things considered. Giving a manufactured sigh, I take a seat opposite her.
Wanting company, then?
I'd say that's more than I was wondering.
I see she's in questioning mode again. She does seem to be unusually interested in me, or at least curious.
Do you have any siblings?
Not exactly an unexpected tangent. No, only child. To be honest, the idea of having someone that close makes me a bit envious.
Interesting. I raise an eyebrow, which of course goes unseen. The short silence communicates the question well enough.
What music is this? Is this her theme? Yeah, it is. Okay.
It's just that others have said the same thing before. It's a difficult subject to try and think about objectively, given that I've always had someone like that.
I can mostly understand what Lily means, given that it would be hard to place oneself outside of a situation they've been in all their life. She and her sister must have a pretty close relationship. Taking pains to interrupt us as little as possible, Yuko dutifully comes over and places a cup on the table. Lily thanks her as I sit back, taking in this vexing girl in front of me. Despite always seeming to be on her guard and in control of herself when talking to others, she has an almost childlike curiosity about other people. That said, those rare moments she seems to slightly lower her guard are the most insightful into how she thinks. Reaching forward for my drink, I realize something I probably should have noticed earlier. I think I'm starting to become kind of curious about her. Ooh, so we're starting to get a little bit likey towards her. Alright. Oh god, that was me fucking... Alright. Despite making a good pace, it's already nightfall by the time I reach the large iron gates in front of the school. Okay. While it's nice to have plenty of time to wander around by virtue of living right next to the school, I can't help but get the feeling that very few students actually take the opportunity. Compared to the number of students I see milling around on campus during free time, it's startlingly rare to see anyone around town. Given the large number of accommodations and facilities that the school offers, many of them might simply not see any point in venturing outside, let alone people such as Hanako and Kenji. It makes me wonder if students like Shizune, Misha, and Lily are the exception for this school rather than the norm. As I wander back to my dorm room, I continue to compare my old school with Yamaku. As I do so, I begin to be surprised that I managed to get even this used to everything that's happened to me. Please don't, Kenji. Thank God! It's like I am not gonna be able to do Kenji's voice today. There's no way. Man, half the time I wonder what the hell's up with my voice. How long have we been recording? Just 20 minutes. Okay, we can go on. The next day, I wake up feeling a little lightheaded. It's almost noon already. Sleeping late is fine since it's... Wait, I think I've read this before. Yeah, I have. Excuse me. Okay. Oh wow, we're already gonna... Okay, I know this is gonna Sorry about that, we're having a few problems. What would you like? It takes me a second to remember what I come here for. My eyes quickly dart to the side to read the menu sitting on the counter. Oh, I guess some miso soup? Ah, is that Hisao? Yep, looks like you're pretty busy. Her face all but confirms it as she drops her waitress facade. Somewhere along the line our order got mixed up. We're trying to fix it now, but it looks like we only have half of what we needed. One serving smaller portions cover over the problem? It seems that's what we'll have to do, though I wish we didn't. The fact that a good half of our class is gone doesn't help either. I glanced behind her to see how many people were actually operating the stall. It couldn't be over about 8. Damn! I take it that's why your teacher left? That's right, she's going to try and round up a few more of our classmates to help. Hearing the sound of footsteps behind me, I stealthily glanced backwards to see an elderly couple taking a place in the line. I guess I better stop loitering around and chatting. Here's the money for the soup. Soup? Oh right, coming right up. Lily turns and calls for a bowl of miso soup as I hand over the money for it. Taking the coins in her palm, I can't help but notice how efficiently she counts them out with her long pale fingers. Eventually satisfied that I've handed over correct change, she puts it into a small metal tray. It isn't long before the soup is made and carefully handed to her, after which she turns and subsequently passes it to me. Thanks, I'll come back to drop off the bowl. Thank you, Asao. Oh, there is one other thing. Have you seen Hanako? Hanako? No, not today. Why? She gives a small sigh of abject disappointment. It's okay, I was just wondering what she was doing for the festival. You'll come back when you're done, then? Sure, I'll keep an eye on for Hanako, too. Thank you, Asao. I walk up from the stall and find a seat, carefully cradling the steaming wooden bowl in both hands. Compared to the dumplings from before, this is quite nice. A little cool compared to what it probably should be, perhaps, but the flavor is enough to cover for that reasonably well. Is miso soup, like, spicy or something? So I've never actually had it. As I drink, I can't help but feel somewhat guilty for not being as involved in the festivals as the others. I can't really be helped, considering I was dropped into the school only a week ago, but it still weighs heavily on my mind. That and the fact that a few students don't really seem to be enjoying the festival as much as the visitors. Eventually I finish my bowl and leave for the stall to drop it off. Considering that there seems to be no line at all, I take my time walking up. It seems the teacher's mission paid off. There are now over a dozen students helping, and much of the unpacking has been done. Despite most of them seeming quite relaxed as they work, Lily still appears to be somewhat distressed. Right, I know what I'll do. Even if it's just one person, I'll make the festival more enjoyable for her. As I place the bowl on the counter, I call out to Lily. Ah, Hisao, you brought it back? Yeah, here. I slide it into her hands, and she takes it over to someone who is apparently on cleaning duty. Considering that I didn't see them here before, it's probably a penalty for their tardiness. Hey, Lily. She perks up and returns to the counter as she hears my voice again, realizing that I'm still here. Want to go see some more of the festival? She's just like... I like that. She's got a little blush going on. Alright. She puffs her cheeks disapprovingly. It looks kinda cute, and in complete contradiction to her usually reserved nature. It takes a few seconds for me to get what she's taking issue with. Whoops. I didn't mean to... Lily giggles at me, exposing her teasing for what it is. You're still not used to the school, are you? She's got me. Fuck. Still, I kind of need to stay with our stall. It's taken until just now to even get everything unpacked. I guess her reluctance shouldn't overly surprise me, considering how much work she's put into this. Everything seems to be running fine now, though. Besides, you've got extra help on hand anyway. Okay, I need to do this real quick because my voice is fucking up with it. Alright. Sorry about that.
A boy in the middle of cooking some soba noodles turns towards us grinning.
Go on, Lils, you've earned yourself a break. We can hold down the fort for now.
If you say it's okay, then I suppose so. But if you need any help...
Then we'll call ya. Go on, we'll be fine.
Lily finally gives up her resistance as he waves a spatula at her. She feels her way around the back of the stall and picks up her cane on the way. I guess the first thing we should do is look for Hanako. Lily seems kind of worried about her, and I thought she'd be the kind of person to enjoy milling about in crowds like this all alone. So I guess we should search for Hanako. Where to first? The both of us go quiet for a moment to think. The library, of course. Maybe she's in her dorm room? I doubt it. She doesn't keep too many things in there, so she had nothing to do. Ah! The library?
As good a place as any to search for an avid reader, I suppose. Yeah, dumbasses, that's what I was thinking. Okay, you're not dumbasses, you just didn't think of it. Okay, I gotta remember. I like these characters.
The library it is. We'll check there first, then. Aside from the muffled sounds of the crowd seeping in from outside, the inside of the school seems almost deserted. In order to make sure everyone had enough room, I guess all the events were organized to be held outside on the school grounds. They're definitely quite large by any other school's standards. It's nice and quiet in here, isn't it?
Yeah, much nicer than the hustle and bustle outside.
We take our time and slowly walk through the first floor of the school, eventually reaching the stairs to the second floor. I can't help but notice how Lily anticipates every door and obstacle, her cane remaining still and her hands skating along the hallway railings. You really know the school well, don't you? She smiles and nods straight ahead. I've been here for a few years now, so I know where everything is. The dorms still trip me up though sometimes. I haven't been there as long. They're not as well laid out as the main building. If I'm remembering right, they used to be unused buildings before being renovated and used as dormitories. That explains why the male and female dorms look different from the outside, and why the rooms seem kind of unusual for sleeping quarters. I'd assumed she'd been living in the dormitory since she began attending the school, but now I'm reminded of what she said yesterday. That's right, you mentioned that before. I assume that most of the students here lived in the dormitories once they are enrolled. A lot of them seem to in any case. Lily's expression becomes somewhat harder to read, my questioning evidently touching on a delicate point. Well, how should I say? Everyone has their reasons. Something tells me that one of those with reasons is Hanako, hence her tiptoeing around the answer. My own predicament is yet another such case. I guess it's a choice everyone here would have to make for themselves, or in my instance have made for them. It can't be helped, I suppose. At least Yamako itself seems like a nice place. It's good to hear you say that. I thought you were coming to dislike it. What about you, though? My reversal of Lily's statement takes her by surprise. I've been here for a while, so... It's not that. You just seem pretty depressed about Akira.
What's with that look?
Akira's taken. Sorry, Hisao.
I wasn't asking for that!
Lily never sees how fast my palm meets my face at her slight accusation. Hey, I was worried about you. That's no way to respond to concern. While she gives an amused grin, we round the corner of the hallway and enter the library. As we do so, it isn't hard to spot Hanako's, considering that the room is completely devoid of anyone else. Given that there are no staff around, I guess there's no need to heed the usual library rules. I call out to her. Hey, Hanako! Hanako is here? As she hears our voices, Hanako flicks up from behind a book, probably the same one she'd been reading on Friday.
Hisao? Lily?
God, my voice is just not wanting to cooperate today.
Just thought we'd drop by. Lily just managed to escape from the noodle stall with a little help. That wasn't really an escape. Hanako gives a small giggle, briefly surprising both of us.
I just thought that Lily might not be enjoying the festival.
Well, now we can enjoy it together, right? The two nod happily before we set out of the library and towards the festivities. Damn, it's nighttime already. I hand over some change to the girl behind the counter and take the 2 styrofoam cups of tea. I try to accentuate my bow a bit to cover for the fact that she's quite obviously deaf. Come to think of it, probably should have asked for help instead of leaving those 2 in the gardens while I bought drinks. Trying to juggle the 2 cups of hot tea for them and a can of coffee for myself out of a vending machine isn't exactly easy. With some careful maneuvering, though, I manage to keep everything stable and upright as I walk over to the bench where Lily and Hanako are sitting and chatting. It's actually quite a nice place, lit only by moonlights tucked away some distance from the main events. Compared to how hot it had been during the day, this spot is also pleasantly cool by now. Not that it matters all that much. Most of the visitors have moved to areas that are either closer to the fireworks or higher on the hill in order to view the display apparently planned. Welcome back, Asel. Her ears are good. I'm not exactly close, and even Hanako hadn't noticed me. Here you go. Sorry it's instant, but that's all they had left by now. Hanako gingerly takes a cup from my right hand, and I gently place the other into Lily's outstretched hands. Did you enjoy the festival then, Hisao? Yeah, it was pretty fun. An honest answer. Much of the food may have been somewhat subpar, but it was a lot of fun in the end, especially with Hanako and Lily. In fact, I think those 2 may have enjoyed themselves even more than I did. With both Lily and I around, much of Hanako's withdrawn nature around others died down enough for her to enjoy herself.
Fireworks!
As we sit drinking, the whistle of the first firework rings out before it explodes into a vibrant shower of blue against the night sky, heralding the beginning of the end for the festival. Enthusiastic shouts can be heard from the crowd scattered around the school grounds celebrating them. For minutes on end, Hanako and I watch the fireworks overhead as Lily blissfully listens to them with her eyes shut. Red, green, yellow, star-striped, circular in pattern, and all manner of shapes and colors fill the air, one after the other, dance around the sky, across the sky. No place near where I live put on such lavish displays. Festivals like this were a thing of the past in such a metropolitan area. To be seeing such a sight with these 2, it's probably the happiest I've been in a long while.
Man, this is reminding me of that one song, Light Lag. It's actually a really good song. It is Vocaloid song. I think you can just, but I'm not sure which Vocaloid it's sung by though. Just check Deco Light Lag and you'll see it.
So, that's it. The festival's finally ending. Yeah. She gives a delicate, wistful sigh. As much as I complain about all the stuff we have to do, it's still sad that we'll have graduated before the next Yamaku festival. I walk forward and stand beside Lily, gently resting a hand on her shoulder. Don't worry, we'll still have Tanabata later in the year, right? But that's in July though, isn't it? You're right, it would be nice to go there when it comes. Minutes of silence pass, with only the blasts of the fireworks to be heard. Seeing these 2 reminds me of those words of advice Lily had given to me as we walked into town together. Cherish the opportunity to make new friends, huh? Hey Lily. She turns her head slightly to show that she's listening, Hanako's gaze still firmly fixed on the technicolor fireworks bursting overhead. You mind if I join you 2 for tea every now and again? The smile on her face is more than enough to see her answer. It would be a pleasure, Hisao.
Fucking Norton. Act 2, Past. Sorry I was quiet. So now we're gonna get all new scenes. Thank God. Alright, so... Yep, we're finally... Let's see. 35 minutes is okay, I guess. Don't you dare. Oh, God. Alright, so that was Katawa Shoujo Part 26. Hope you enjoyed it. We got to Act 2 a lot faster, didn't we? But that was mostly due to skipping most of the scenes. Again, I had to before people... Man, but still... I like how hers is like... How Rin's is like, I think, right here. I don't know anymore. That's gallery. Where the fuck is library? Here we go. See, look, there's a lot of scenes we fucking missed here. But yeah, we missed a lot of scenes here because of our shit. Alright, so we have just now started on Lily's path, which means that we're going to be going through her path, you know. And yeah, so thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys again for Pokemon Randomized Black part something something later tonight. So see ya.